Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the National Championship preview. T-Pipe.
Brett.
We're talking about Alabama, Ohio State.
Now we're coming at you with 4K right now, so hopefully we look a lot better today than we normally do.
I can use all the help I can get.
Actually, it should be a lot more focused in, and you can see every little imperfection.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, we're going to talk about the Alabama-Ohio State game, number 1 versus number 3. Lots to talk about, lots of little intrigue. What is the current status of Justin Fields?
I think his ribs still hurt. I know that the Big Ten was trying to push the game back due to COVID issues at Ohio State, which basically was bullshit. Justin Fields' ribs hurt. Let's call it what it is. If you believe it was COVID related, I mean, I'm sure they maybe had some guys out, but I mean, let's not kid ourselves. They wanted a healthy Justin Fields. And you know what? Alabama and the SEC were trying to keep it for Monday. Ohio State wanted to keep it for Monday. It was the Big Ten that was trying to push it back. But guess what? You push that thing back. Guess who's practicing this week for Alabama? Jalen Waddle. So you push it back and you run the risk of having that guy play.
Well, he might play anyway.
Possibly. I'm of the camp that I'll believe it when I see it. But if they had pushed it back a week, I definitely think we'd see the guy.
Well, the question is, do they even need him to play?
In this game, yeah. You got to have all your weapons.
Okay.
You know, I know that they've been scoring at a crazy pace even without him, but with him in the lineup, that's a different team.
Right.
You know, they're a little bit more dynamic with him in the lineup.
Heisman Trophy winner,
Devontae Smith, thank you. Finally, the voters did it right.
Hell of a season.
Hell of a season for that kid, and I'm happy for him. He was the best player in college football, bar none. In my opinion, wasn't even close, but I'm glad he won, because if he didn't win, let's just call it what it is, to be a quarterback trophy. So.
Yeah. He was definitely the most deserving player in the country this season. There was a lot of good competition, but ultimately he played like a madman, especially last week.
Some other news and notes. Arrival of Alabama, Auburn. You know, they fired Gus Malzahn, and usually when coaches get fired, you know, the fans are all jumping up and down thinking it's the greatest thing in the world. They've assembled a hell of a staff. Derek Mason, defensive coordinator, Mike Bobo, offensive coordinator. They retained Cadillac Williams, running backs coach. There's talk about T. Martin coming on. Hell of a staff. You could argue it's a better staff than the one that was in there just a couple months ago. So I know that a lot of fan bases were jumping up and down, you know, laughing at Auburn, and they just, in my opinion, got better.
Yeah, who's laughing now?
Yeah. Little rumors about Dan Mullen going to the NFL. More news and notes. Tennessee wants to get rid of Pruitt, so they've hired a team to investigate recruiting violations. It's all BS. It's just a way for them to get rid of Pruitt without paying him the buyout. Anything else that comes from that is just part of the deal. They want to get rid of him.
It's crazy. It started so promising last season with Pruitt, and everything. There was a lot of hype around Tennessee, and then the wheels fell off.
Yeah, I mean, the dude's been there. What this was his third full season. You know, look, I'm not a Tennessee fan. I don't like Tennessee, but geez, you got to give the dude some time. He was recruiting fairly well. I'd just give the dude some time. I don't believe it's, you know, 3 years you weren't winning. I know they're not good. Give the guy some time. I kind of believe you give them some time, they're probably going to be right there contenders with East. But, you know, whatever.
You never know. It's so weird. It seems like Knoxville, you should be able to recruit there.
Well, he has. I mean, he hasn't recruited at like an elite level, but I mean, he's getting some guys.
But to compete in the East, you really need to be recruiting at elite level.
You do. I mean, but he's, like I said, he's getting some guys. They've got some really good transfers that have transferred in over the last couple seasons. He's won some battles against Florida and Georgia and Alabama. He's lost more than he's won. But, I mean, that's going to happen right now.
Right. So more on tomorrow night's game. Ohio State is the number 4 program in total offense in the country. Alabama's 6. So you would think offensively there's a kind of equal in that regard.
It's going to be a high-scoring game.
Definitely a high-scoring game. I think, what's the over right now on this game? Let me pull it up so if I can find
it. And I'm looking at that number 4 ranking for total offense for Ohio State, and then kind of thinking, okay, who have they played? But then Alabama's similar thought process. some of the teams Alabama has blown out weren't the best defensive teams. I mean, they did beat Georgia, who's got a very good defense, and Georgia had all their guys,
Yes.
and they put up, I think, what, 41 on them.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, there's that aspect of it. Neither one of them had played a ton of great defenses, but watching what Ohio State did to Clemson really impressed me. So the over and under is 75 and a half.
I'm going to go with the over on that one. That's definitely going to be a high-scoring game. I can envision a scenario where the first team scores 50 points in this game wins the national title game.
I'm going to go with the under.
Okay.
I'm gonna say two high-powered offenses. First quarter and a half, they're feeling each other out, and there's not a ton of scoring until the second half. And maybe it's like a 33-36 game, and just goes a shade under 75. I'm going with the under, but I do think there's gonna be a lot of points in the game.
You got a spread of 8.5 for Alabama. I got to think that Ohio State's going to keep that a lot closer.
I do too.
That's a significant spread there.
Look, I was on the camp Ohio State wasn't. I mean, they're the top 4 team in the country. No debating that in my opinion. But could they hang with Clemson? No. And then I watched what they did to Clemson on both sides of the football, and I was like, wow, these guys are good. They came to play. Now, it could have been all the crap Dabo talked, and it wasn't just this year. Right. He talked last year and the year before, and the last couple times he played, he ran his mouth.
Right.
I'm sure that played a lot into it, and I don't know if there's going to be any of that coming in this game. Nick Saban, best coach in the country, best coach in the game. You give the guy a little bit of time to prepare. He's going to have a great game plan. He's the best there is. He's the GOAT. Also, 2015, Ohio State beat Alabama. That revenge factor. You don't beat Nick Saban teams and then come back and beat them again, typically. So there's that factor. But I'm just thinking, I can't stop thinking about what Ohio State did to Clemson. Clemson was a good football team. Alabama's defense isn't the defense of old for Alabama. They've got a much better offense than usual. But that defense would always shut people down.
Right.
They don't have that big guy in the middle. Trey Sermon or Ohio State can run the football. I think you could basically take Alabama's DBs and match up with Wilson and then Olave fairly well. It's going to be the tight end game and the running game for Ohio State. Running game with Justin Fields. As we saw in the game with Clemson, the dude gets his ribs messed up, and he's still in there running the football and throwing the football. Complete gamer, didn't want to come out, come out for a little bit and went back in. He's still running, still taking hits for his team. You got to like that. And I'm just looking at, like I said, I can't stop thinking about what they did to Clemson. If Fields can add to the running game, I have a feeling Ohio State's going to take this game. So I'm picking Ohio State.
Picking Ohio State.
Picking Ohio State, win by, I'm going to say, 4.
4 points, Ohio State. Okay, I've got to go with Alabama on this one. I really think Alabama's going to take care of business, and you get the Heisman Trophy winner. There's just too much on offense right now. That's not saying Ohio State. I mean, I'm a believer in Ohio State. I just don't think they're just going to be able to match up with Alabama in the long run of this game. Justin Fields, I'm a believer in that kid now.
Oh yeah. I mean, he was the best player. I wouldn't say best player in football, but I mean, he's obviously one of the top 3. I think he went to the Heisman ceremony last year. Probably if they played more games, he probably would have been in it this year. But he's definitely one of the best players in the game. And I'm just thinking, how is Alabama going to stop him? I mean, the SEC championship game, Florida put up a bunch of points on Alabama's defense. Florida's a great team.
Right.
Not taking anything away from them. When they've got all their guys and they actually want to be in the game, they're a potent offensive team. I don't know how you're going to stop that rushing attack of Ohio State without, that big. Alabama's always had that big nose tackle up front. They don't have that this year. So I'm just kind of concerned, not concerned, but I'm wondering how Alabama's going to stop that rushing attack.
Right.
Because Clemson couldn't do it. Clemson's defensive line is ridiculous.
We'll see. We're going to find out. They're playing in Miami, Hard Rock Stadium. It's 77 degrees. South Florida and perfect. Let's go. We can get a ticket for $1,041 on StubHub. So hey, if somebody wants to make a donation, we would gladly like to go there and maybe do some live streaming.
Hell yeah! One day we can hope.
Yeah, maybe one day. But yeah, anything else we need to add?
No, I'm just think it's gonna be a good game. I hope it starts on time.
Yeah.
I know this is 8 o'clock, and I like to drag crap out. It's a Monday night. Why don't they play this on Saturdays? You know, let them have an extra week of rest. Play it Saturday night. College football is played on Saturdays.
Yep.
I know it's on a Monday. Some of us have to get up the next morning and go to work. But I think it's gonna be a great game. Like I said, I'm thinking Ohio State's taking this game by 4. Maybe score, you know, a late touchdown to go up by 4, and Alabama's gonna come back. And I think Ohio State's defense is gonna be up to the task.
It's going to be a back and forth game for sure. Yeah, I think Alabama has the edge. Definitely not covering the spread on that. I would definitely take Ohio State with the points. So yeah, 8.5. Yeah, no.
First time, I think something like around 25 years, is the team that was number 1 at the beginning of the season stayed number 1 all throughout the season, made the championship game, and possibly could win it. So that's the first time that's happened. Usually, the number 1 team will either lose or maybe drop to a different rank.
What team was that?
I want to say it was like Pitt back in the 80s. I could be wrong. I don't know. But I was actually watching the Notre Dame. We were in that bar, Stats. They had the Notre Dame Alabama game on. They mentioned it. First time in like, I don't know how many years, like 25, 30 years or more, that the team that started out the season number 1 made it all the way through, staying at number 1 to the national championship game.
Yeah, it's hard to do. 2020. Now we're in 2021, so anything's possible.
That one thing that irks me was when you watch this game tomorrow, the patches on their jerseys are going to say 2021. They did that last year. They did the year before. That irritates the crap out of me. Yes, it's 2021, but this is the 2020 season. Just don't wear the patch. I don't know. That's something that just kind of irritates the shit.
Minor critique.
Yeah. So, but anyway, it's gonna be a great game. Looking forward to it. And then the season will be over, and we'll have recruiting in February to talk about, and then after that, you know, just a short couple months, and we'll have spring football.
Yeah. And we got Senior Bowl coming up in a few weeks, and
What day is it? I don't even know.
I think it's like the weekend before the Super Bowl.
Really? I'd like to go to that.
But there's no tickets available.
Yeah.
We could probably find them, but you know how that goes. Senior Bowl's a good time. If you ever get a chance to go to Mobile on the Senior Bowl weekend, that's definitely a good Saturday trip. And
Just don't stay in Mobile.
Yeah.
Stay like it's a little outside the city. There's a couple of nice little suburbs you want to stay at.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think it is a fun game to go to.
Yeah. But that's all I got.
Yeah. Everybody enjoy the game tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hopefully your team wins, whatever team that is.
Yeah. Stay safe, and we'll see you here in a few weeks. I'm sure we'll do an update, so you guys will be good.
Take care, guys.